Welcome to the show. My first guest is a hilarious comedian and actress who has taken social media by storm. Between the funny skits and infectious personality, it is easy to see how she's achieved success as a comedian, an actress, influencer, and as a businesswoman. And if you're one of her 6 million followers, you already know Miss Pretty V is truly an all-purpose entertainer who is winning in every arena she jumps into these days. Please welcome to the show, Miss Pretty V.
Hello.
Hello, darling. How you doing?
Hello. Allergies out.
I know.
It's the season.
It is
pollen.
Spring in Atlanta. It is. But you're playing it off marvelously.
Thank you so much. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's good to have you here, and I love your story of really just sticking to who you are.
Yes.
Knowing who you are and whose you are, and just owning it.
Yes.
You're funny. Everybody follows all the crazy skits. How did you get started?
Oh, wow. I mean, I got started in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. You know, my best friend was like, you should go and, fight yourself in the street. Everybody's doing crazy stuff, doing all these outrageous things. Just fight yourself in the street. I'm like, to who? Anybody gonna be like? So I did it. I got viral. Right. It was on all the blogs, Ball Alert, Shade Room. But I was still trying to figure out what's the outlet. Like, okay, you're gonna tell me to fight myself in the street, but we still broke. What we gonna do? Fighting
myself in the street. I'm still hungry. Yeah.
So I started in Charlotte. Everything went down in Charlotte, and then that's when I came to Atlanta to really get into my business, which is I got on Wild 'N Out here.
Right, so, yeah. Right. And that's where I know a lot of folks, maybe our younger viewers, know from. But everybody ends up talking about Miss Pretty V.
Yes.
So let me ask you this: were you always sort of like the funny kid? Were you always sort of like the little class?
Always the funny kid. Mm-hmm. Always. I mean, I used to be in the back of the classroom. the teachers called me to the front because I was getting everybody nervous.
Because you were doing everything in the back.
So I was always that kid that was always in something. Yeah.
So when people asked you when you were younger, what do you want to be when you grow up? You said,
in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to. I was like, I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I didn't know what I wanted to be. Like I didn't know if I wanted to be a radio personality, but I knew I wanted to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about all these different characters that you have, though, right? Because there is the comedian, there is the actress. How do you manage? How do you figure out which one is going to you're going to make the most of in any moment? Well,
my characters are Sharon, my Jamaican character. I got my little hood girl named Bobo. I'm from Miami, so you got a little girl, a homegirl named Bobo, a TT, around with KK. Mm-hmm. And then I have Peanut Mom, which she's a single parent. I grew up in Miami, so I've seen a lot of those. My friends had a lot of mothers that were single.
So they're all based on somebody.
Yes, somebody's New York chick, Maria, Peanut Mom. Okay, Sharon, the body gal, and Bobo. And then of course the one that's relaxed is Pretty V, for real.
That's
so yeah.
How much of Pretty V though is in all of your characters?
All of them.
Not one of them, but all of them.
All of them, yes. So those are my gang. Those are one who kept me keep me busy. All of them. Yep.
All the time.
Yep, all the time.
But then you tell us how you get to Wild 'N Out, because that's obviously really personality driven.
Yes.
But you also still have to kind of hold your own on that stage.
Yes, it's a big improv.
How do you stand out?
It's a big improv show. I mean, how I stand out is I'm being me. Mm-hmm. Just be you, be unapologetically you, and just keep going. There's a lot of heavy hitters on that show. You got DC Young Fly, you have Carlos Miller, you have Chico Bean, you have B. Simone.
Yeah.
You have a lot of us, and you just got to be you. Because the reason why you're on that show is because you're being you. You know, and that's what Nick wants. Nick always tells us every time we get on the stage, you can never do no wrong. You guys are funny.
Wow.
You guys are stars.
That's a great boss.
You can never do no wrong. Just do you. I got on Wild 'N Out. I wrote them back in 2017. My homegirl gave me an email to write them, and I lied, and I said I'm DC Young Fly cousin. I'm Carlos Miller.
You said that did you even know DC Young Fly?
I did not. 2017.
So you didn't think. Well, I guess it worked out.
It did. It did. 28, and then 2018 came back around. I didn't make it. I went to New York. Mm-hmm. The email did work. I said Carlos Miller, my uncle. I was making up anything, and then I went there. And I didn't make it. Everybody else made it. B. Simone made it. Just Hilarious made it.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
That rejection. Because that's a part of the process, right?
Yeah.
That's a part of the growth process.
Yes.
How did you feel? What did you do?
At that time, I always say a delay is never denial.
Right.
So I just kept it pushing. I knew they were going to call me back, sooner or later. And they did, 2018. And I'm 8 seasons in now.
Wow.
Yes, shout out to Nick. Thank you.
What did you do between 2017 and 2018
to
raise your bar?
Kept hustling, kept creating, kept being involved, staying in the way, and I just kept doing my thing. I was working, but still hustling at the same time.
And you've done some acting with a lot of folks. I know you're a big Issa Ray fan, so you're really excited.
Issa,
Tell me about that experience.
Oh my God, Issa.
Because she's funny, she's quirky, she's got a lot of that same vibe, and has done the same thing, succeeded by just standing in her own truth.
Issa Ray, a phenomenal. Look at me right there. Yeah,
that's you. That's you.
That was me on set of Rap-ish. And Issa gave me a chance. She gave me an opportunity to shine. You know, we just wrapped up season 2 of Rap-ish. But Issa is amazing woman. She's a queen. I love her so much.
What have you? Give me a lesson that you've learned from her.
I think with Issa, what I've learned on set with her, just do it. Just get to it. Be you, you know, and I think that's what she exudes. Like Issa's she's fearless. So it's like, I'm gonna do me. You know, I don't care who says what, just do us. So yeah. And
I think what's interesting, we have just a minute left in this part of the conversation, but you know, you went to school, you got a degree, you did sort of all these traditional things, right? But then you said, I'm going to have a very unconventional path to success. Yeah. That takes a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I exude it. At first, again, you always have those moments where you're like, am I doing too much? Am I gonna make it? You know, am I gonna get like boxed in? You know, but I just know it's
flash in the pan, right? I know that's something a lot of influencers wonder about. Like, how do I make this last?
Right, the longevity part. And I always pray for that. I always pray for longevity in this business. I always pray to ask God to keep me in a place of knowing like this is not just for this, it's for a long-term thing. Like you guys will know my name. You will know Pretty V's name beside Jim Carrey. You will know Pretty V's name beside Melissa McCarthy soon. So that's what I always exude and keep it pushing.
Goals. I love it. All right, stand by. We're gonna keep this conversation going. Up next, we're gonna be talking to Pretty V about her new movie on MTV. It's her first starring role. Stick around, you don't wanna miss this conversation. We'll be right back.